I'm live on Facebook. Hello. How is everyone keeping? Let me know if you're hopping on. Say hello. It is Tuesday. Check the date, but I'm pretty sure it's the 18th of May. Yeah. We're here for Tuesday's bite sized training. So I come live. I'm Nora Ginty from Nora Ginty Coaching. And I come live on here every Tuesday to spend a few minutes with you, sharing a bit of my knowledge or sometimes opinions or um, anything to do with goals could come up here, ladies and gents, anything to do with goals. And very interlinked with goals, the way I work is, of course, intuition. Um, all the faculties of the mind, but it's mindset, okay? Mindset and goals really go hand in hand because if you are not using your mind to reach your goals, then you've got trouble. You are in trouble. So if you're watching live, let me know. Say hello. Hi, Katie. Hi, Holly. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. Hashtag replay. Let me know you're here and that you are watching. So, today, what am I going to cover? Today, I want to talk about intuition. And I did a masterclass, I think it was before, but I did a big training before on intuition versus intellect, and it was how to use intuition to create the business of your dreams. And it was such fabulous training. And it's fabulous because many of the women, the ladies that were in that class, were not tapping into their intuition at all. Okay, and it's so important. So, how important is it really? Well, intuition is part of the puzzle that brings you from your daily successes to your quantum leaps. So if you want, the big months, and it always comes back to money. Let's be honest, because money does allow all the other things that we want in life. So whether it's those 5K months or 10K months, of course, it doesn't mean that you have a shallow goal. What it means is that that goal allows all of the other wonderful things to come underneath. But that's the difference, okay? So slowly climbing a ladder is, what people do. They go to school, they go to college, and follow all the steps that society says and do all the things, and slowly, 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 slowly. Um, when you tap into the faculties of your mind, when you begin to learn to control your mindset and work through the steps, that's when you can expect quantum leaps in your life, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the quantum leaps come in. So to that end, intuition is vital to anyone that wants the success to be their business to be a huge success. Do you use intuition? Let me know. Is it something that you're already bringing in daily into your life and into your business? Do let me know. And do you know what it feels like? What does intuition feel like to you? So intuition is, most people will call it like a gut feeling. So if somebody mentions something, or if you think about something, you get this feeling, this gut feeling. Oh, that sounds amazing. Or you might be drawn towards a certain program or a certain holiday, or doing something that you wouldn't normally do, or just something different. Or maybe it's something in your business, a different marketing strategy, something that you don't usually see, or that could consciously look quite risky. But you get this feel like, boom, oh, I'd really like to do that. So intuition is a gift. I call intuition a gift. Okay. So when you get that gut feeling, or a quick shift about wanting to do something, that's your subconscious. It's a message from away, it's away from your conscious. So, okay, so it comes from much deeper than the conscious mind. So when you get that message, you get that feeling, it's like, boom, this would be amazing. And then so quickly afterwards, you get that, oh yeah, but you couldn't do that because nobody uses that marketing strategy. Oh my God, if you did that and it failed, what would happen? The ego mind comes into play. The conscious mind comes in and says, oh, that's too risky. You have to look at A, B, C, D, E, F, and G before you can do that. And all of that conscious stuff starts to take over. And what happens then is fear, and you can just decide, write a pro and con list, for example, and just decide then, I'm not going to do this right now, and you keep moving on the slow steps to success. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to bring quantum leaps. Okay, the intuition is there to be tapped into, it's there to be acknowledged. It's a gift that you are given to act on straight away. The minute you get that intuitive hit, act on it within the first 5 minutes. Do something bold in that first 5 minutes. It could be, for example, if you thought of a new program and boom, it pops into your head. Get into your email list straight away. Send a list and say, there's a new program coming. Hit reply and let me know if you want to be first to hear about it, and then get working on it. So you've made that commitment, you've taken that first step. So act on your intuition is what I'm saying. It's there to be acted out straight away. So take those first steps. Now, how do you know if it's intuition or something else? Um, is there a way that you can identify, if it's intuition or not? Because often people will say, well, I really had a feeling about this new program, but then when I started thinking about it, the logistics of it, you see how we're going to strategy now, we're going away from the soul. Intuition is very much part of the soul. When I looked at the strategy and looked at this, I wasn't sure if that was something that I could work on, or, actually work out all of this sort of stuff. Everything will come into your mind to stop you. And it's just the ego mind. But you can also say, well, how do I know that intuition is real? Because I have a bit of a bad feeling about it, or I'm not sure if it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, and I don't know where my intuition is. And there's a great way to measure it. And what I do is, if you get an intuitive hit, okay, about something, or something, then have a look, ask yourself a couple of questions, because I can't tell you um I can't tell you what's intuition and what isn't to you. Okay, we always have the answers. I answered this in a group earlier on. So often we look for the answers outside of ourselves, and actually you have the answers. You hold them all within, and you always did. And with my clients, what I do is help them to tap into that, and to open it up so that they can trust that and take action on from that space, the aligned action. So with intuition, if you get a hit to do something, sharply followed by, the thoughts around what ifs and stuff like that, then ask a couple of prompts. Okay, so the first prompt, ask yourself, okay, why where the negative feelings come from? Why am I doubting this? See what comes up, journal on it for just a couple of minutes, and then when you read back, see if it's based on fear. Because if it's based on fear, it's not a real emotion. Okay, just let it go, because fear isn't real. It's something that disappears once you break through that level. Okay, it's a sign of growth. So acknowledge that and say, hello, sign of growth. I'm going to move right through you and follow my intuition. Okay, that's the first thing. If something else comes up in the journaling. Okay, something like, say, for example, I had, oh, I don't know, I saw a villa in Spain. Let's just, I mean, pull this out of the sky. And I was like, oh my God, I could totally run my business from there. There's a local school full of English children, or, let's pretend that everything was there, that, um, just really hit me, go, oh my gosh, I'd love to live there. Okay. So then I start getting there, oh, well, I don't know, because what about this? What about that? So then when you sit down, you spend 5 minutes journaling, I quickly realize in my journaling, for example, now this is a very basic example. Well, the kid's dad is here, so I'm not going to remove them from that. Okay, they've a good relationship with him, and that's just not an option right now. So you can see how that is totally different to fear-based decisions. So if you get an intuitive hit, if you get that gut feeling about something or someone, or explore it, look into it, ask those questions. What is this? Where is it coming from? And take the first step towards making that bold decision, because bold decisions are what brings the quantum growth. And not doing anything differently, not breaking out of that regular routine. And really, it's about keeping safe, isn't it? And ignoring those little voices, those gifts from wherever they're coming from. Intuition is often said to come from our subconscious mind. And what intuition is it's the subconscious mind telling us something before the conscious mind has registered it. And there's a lot of science around this now, and a lot of data to prove that. However, I also believe that sometimes we are given this intuitive we're given these intuitive nudges, because if you think about our path already being laid out, if you think, I often think of my past as being an experience that I had to have so that I could go through that and be here where I am today doing the work that I love. But if being here doing the way I love, my phone is ringing there, guys, sorry. Totally lost my train of thought there, and I can hear myself, crikey. So totally forgot what I was saying there now. So let me just hook it back up. I haven't done that for about 2 years, I'd say. So let's have a look at what the most dangerous mistake is. Okay, that I put this into the event. What's the most dangerous mistake that people make in business, and how to avoid that pitfall? And of course, it's not following your intuition, not asking the questions and taking the answers from yourself. Now, how do you do that? How do you, we talk about following intuition, but what ways can you do that? The very first way is to be quiet. How many of you actually sit and take time to just spend time with yourself and listen? How uncomfortable does it feel to sit in silence for 3, 4, 5 minutes? Because we live in this world where there's always noise, and we never slow down long enough to listen to what's going on. So if you're not listening, your intuition can't talk. It can't tell you anything. So slow down and notice. And just try that one simple shift. Just sit down, ask a question. I often sit down and ask questions, say, what's my next step in all this? And I'll just sit and listen for a couple of minutes. Now, in the beginning, it was hugely uncomfortable. I love it now. It's actually really, really refreshing. It's like having a 15-minute snooze. And And then trust your gut. Okay, so begin to lean into trust. Lean into trust when you get those intuitive hits. Okay, have the faith that you are being guided in exact direction that you need to be. Okay, and you'll feel it when you open yourself up to that. When you build up the trust and the faith, bit by bit, you'll begin to feel it. You know, did you ever get goosebumps all over you? Like, oh, it's it's subtle, but it's a sign. Okay, something is right, something is happening, something is at the right time, the right place. Just go with it. You know, allow yourself to be open and receptive to the woo, I guess, really, because lots of people will say that it is woo woo. Just allow yourself to open. I always say it's not woo woo, it's quantum physics, but and then pay attention, okay, to what's going on around you. Because as you become more present and more aware and more uh, mindful, the more your subconscious mind can open up and support you, so that you're not living in the conscious part of the mind all of the time, which has very little to do with your long-term habits. That's all subconscious. So really slow down and pay attention. So, when you take those steps to nurture your intuition, you will begin to see changes. You will begin to see shifts in what's going on around you. You'll begin to see signs. I mean, how many people have a sign? If you have a sign, tell me. And I read the book now. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. I mean, don't come near me with woo woo. Is sort of the attitude that I had. And then as time went on, I started reading about this. I was like, oh my God, this is what has been missing all the time. And I just was not receptive to it. And the book, The Universe Has Your Back, Gabrielle Bernstein, she talks about having a sign. So I remember back in the early days thinking, okay, I'm going to pick a sign and let's see if if it really works. Okay, so this was my science of working it all out. So I picked a rainbow, and of course, I'm in Ireland, it's always raining and sunny. So there was always rainbows, and I was like, no, I'm just not buying this. So I said, I'm going to pick a turtle, right? Where are you going to find turtles in Ireland? So I was like, right, I'm going to pick a turtle. And the turtle comes up every time I ask it a question, and I will be so precise. I'll say, okay, show me a turtle. Show me my totem, I call it. Show me my totem if I'm making the right decision within 2 hours. Okay, so I don't say within a week or one time forever. And then I even in my own head, I'm like, I really want this to be right, but where am I going to get a totem? And I'll tell you, it has popped up in the funniest of places. Let me see now, children's stories. Okay, I remember one evening I was looking for this totem, and then I bought the kids a new book, and what came up, the new child story, and the totem came up. It's amazing. It will turn up anywhere. I saw a turtle, a garden gnomey turtle thing. Another day I asked a question, and it was huge. It was massive. I never remember it being in that garden before, but I was sold. That was me, and I was sold. So it's amazing. It really, really is, to follow your intuition and to listen to what's going on around you. And that's my very unprepared daughter coming in for test papers, I would say. So listen to your intuition and follow it as much as you can. Decipher whether there's fear attached to it if you're deciding not to follow it, or is there logic, that really bends your intuition back the other way when you really delve into it. And then follow it, learn to follow it and learn to open up to the trust and the surrender, because they're the parts that will bring you the quantum results ultimately. So really put yourself into that state as much as possible. And I see Holly has come to here. I love to take a bit of time to sit quietly, but I find my mind wanders very easily back to work, kids' dinner. Do you have a really good tip for that, Holly? Is, when you ask yourself, have a specific question, first of all. Our minds do wander. That's the way that they are just designed to be. But ask yourself a specific question. So, something you've been pondering on or something you can't get the answer to, and just ask that question and then decide, set an intention to sit in silence until you get the answer. And every time your mind wanders, ask the question again, ask the question again, ask the question again. And you'll feel like, I used to, now I hated sitting still, but I actually used to feel like a toe curling, I don't want to be here sort of feeling in the beginning of this. But very, very quickly, my mind gave me the answer. Now, not in day one, but what I mean is within a couple of weeks, I had trained my mind. Okay, we're going sitting here until she gets the answer. And it brought in the focus and it will begin to give you the answer. I remember Bob Proctor in a program I did with him talks about a candle. It's about focus, bringing your focus back, bringing your focus back. And that exercise that I mentioned there about continuously asking that question in silence brings your focus back. It's the same as what Bob recommends, which is lighting a candle and just focus on the flame, and your mind wanders and just bring it back to the flame. And it's almost like, do you remember the brain training exercises that used to be on the, what were they called? Nintendos, was it? It was one of those games anyway. And there was the brain training. This is real brain training for focus. Because we are in a world that it's all about distraction, isn't it? And it's all about somebody else or something else occupying our mind all of the time. And that's almost giving your power away. So, as much as possible, we want to take that back. We want all of the gold in here. We want to make decisions and take our answers from within. So, try that and let me know how you get on. Hi, Hilary. How are you? I hope you enjoyed that, ladies. That's one of the funniest Tuesday trains I've ever did, because my daughter's at home. She's doing tests this week from home, and my son is homeschooling in the kitchen. And my phone was ringing because I forgot to put on silent. So we got through it. Here we are. We got through the training, and let me know what you took from it. Okay, give me something that you're going to take away from this, and let me know in comments. Okay, I love to hear your feedback. I love to hear how you're getting on with these nuggets of gold that I share with you on Tuesdays, because it's these tiny things, it's these tiny changes that we make, that we bring into our days, that when one day you look back and you see the huge success, it didn't just happen like that. It happened by all of the tiny changes that we made, which then caused big results. So that's it for this week's Tuesday training. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here with me. It's been a pleasure as always. And if you have any questions about the training today, if I've missed anything, pop it into comments, give me a tag and I'll answer them for you. So enjoy the rest of your week. Huge love. Bye-bye.